Hi there, this is the Baroness talking for Baron's Party Paints. Today we are talking about a Hobgoblin. This is Ekaflip, the Hobgoblin who, again, is from the one-on-one campaign that my husband runs for me so we can test run a few things. And we wanted to have a mess around with some of the monster races and see if they could function as player races, which of course they can, but we want to see how they functioned as well, see if it was something we wanted to play with. This is Ekaflip. He is a Hobgoblin who lives in the town as part of the group of, I guess, trappers and hunters. They also do a bit of the wood carving as well. He actually lives with a bugbear and a goblin. A bugbear named Smokey because, yes, why not? And a goblin named Vermin. And they've sort of formed a little found family that it functions. But Ekaflip has very clearly got, he's got ambition, he wants to be more. I'm just recently finding out some of his backstory, so I can only talk about what I know, but it turns out he was a mercenary during a war that happened, about 40 years ago in campaign? Yeah, about 40 years ago. So he was a mercenary back then, he was in charge of a whole Hobgoblin band, which is, super cool and super deadly if you know anything about the lore. But has since retired and he's quite happy in the town that he's in, but he definitely still has that ambition and drive to be something more. Okay, so for him, I actually took inspiration from Watch Me Butcher this name. I think it's Lee Naumasa. Naumasa? It might be Naumasa. Lee Naumasa, also known as the Red Demon Samurai. This was I think this is an actual dude who existed. Historic figure. One of the 4 guardians of Tokugawa in Japanese history. Best known for his fearsome blood-red samurai armour and nasty habit of killing people for genuine mistakes. I know the Hobgoblins do have a sort of samurai look to them in the actual art as well, and I thought, let's go with an actual real red samurai looking armour. So what we've got here is anything that's gold on there is Retributor armour, which is the just basic gold I tend to go for. Anything red on there is, that is genuinely just a couple of coats of blood for the blood god. I did have to do 2 coats of it because it's only a technical, so it's not really supposed to be used as a base, but it does actually work if you're willing to take the time to do 2 or 3 coats. Anything black is Abaddon Black, and anything silver is, as always, Leadbelcher, because it's the only silver I currently own. His skin tone is Bugman's Glow, which is a very nice deeper tan colour. His hair I did as Avalanche Sunset, and then because it looked a little bit too bright and clean yellow, I wanted to look a little bit more mousy, so I did a coat of the Rakeland Flesh shade over the top, which I think I might actually use again for something, because it really does give it a bit more of a mousy shade. Other than that, I don't think there's a lot for me to tell you. I can tell you a little bit of story time about him. My character Zephyr has accidentally become sort of the deputy mayor of this little town, which is fine, he's handling that. But essentially one of the weirder things that happened was a letter arrived on his little desk saying that Ekaflip wanted to apply to be captain of the guards. And I genuinely at this point didn't know any of Ekaflip's backstory, so I was just a little bit nonplussed by this, didn't know what to do. But he was basically in his letter saying, would it be worth him applying, or do I think he'd just get laughed out of the room about it? And what I ended up saying in response was, I don't think a single person would laugh at him, but it seemed to me that the bigger problem he was having was that he was worried that we were just going to say no to him. And my reply was basically, if you're concerned that the answer will be no, then no, you shouldn't be applying at all, because you shouldn't apply for anything without the expectation that the answer could be no. And frankly, the kind of town guards captain we need is going to have to be a man who is braver than someone who will say they're not going to do it just because they're scared the answer might be no. So, as it turned out, that was exactly the right answer to give a Hobgoblin with ambition. Because his entire response to that was to go, right, I am applying then, and I will get this, not because I am the only person here who could potentially do it, but because I am more than qualified for this. So I think he's going to be captain of the guards. Oh, it also turned out he had a whole bunch of lore that I'd managed to miss out on about the big bad evil guys, so that was handy. I really need to spend more time talking to all the rest of the characters in this town and not just focusing in on the one who I desperately fancy. But we've all done that in a game. Don't say you haven't. So that is Ekaflip, the Hobgoblin, I guess, town guard captain now? We'll see about that. And I will talk to you about some other minis another time. Okay, bye.